Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Tuesday, October 12th edition of our video devotionals, and we appreciate you being with us today. And I'm actually in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm getting ready to attend the Tuesday morning session of the Southwide Baptist Fellowship. It's been hosted here by Beacon Baptist Church, and I'm going to hear some good preaching this morning, meet some folks, so I want to support the meeting. So I decided to come out here. They've got a Christian school, and I'm here sitting on the end of one of their slides. I didn't slide down here to get to this position, but I did just sit down. But anyway, a little bit tempted, but good weather and a good trip here, about an hour and a half drive from High Point, and so otherwise we're here and we'll enjoy that. So yesterday we started our theme. Our word is the word equity, so we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 1 and 2. Just read a couple of verses there and to just give you a quick little insight here and see if we can be a blessing to you. But otherwise, thank you so much who join me with these videos every day. We have picked up some new people in the last week or two, and then of course we got you folks that go all the way back to April 1, 2020. So we'll just try to be a blessing to each other, and thank you so much for joining us. Okay, well, here's what it says. Of course, this is the opening chapter, opening words, kind of sets the theme for what the book of Proverbs is about. So it says here, we'll read verses 1, 2, and 3. It says, the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. And notice this, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. Now there's our word equity. And we talked about yesterday, that word equity just simply means to be even or equal, and especially in the treatment of people, especially when there's a decision is made, oftentimes in a matter of, when you look at the word justice and judgment, obviously that involves, in a sense, something a little bit beyond moral, more like what would involve whether something's illegal, that type of thing. In other words, when someone's being tried for a crime, whether it's criminal or not, I guess was the word I was looking for, there's a sense of justice that needs to be laid out to find out if someone's guilty or not. I think when you look at the word equity there, to kind of maybe look at the difference, it may mean more than just simply trying to determine guilt or not. I think it's looking at someone and judging someone maybe on their character, just simple character. In other words, maybe just looking at someone like a poor versus a rich person, how you would treat them, how you think you might gain favor from somebody that maybe is in a higher, I hate to use the word status, than you are, but in other words, if someone has more money than you and you try to show favor to them, maybe you may get something from them, or you see someone who's in a powerful position and you want favor, you want attention even, and you may go out of your way to really, be nice and kind and all that sort of thing. And then you look at someone who perhaps is what you think is in lower status than you are. I'm going to use the term a homeless person, for example. In our city of High Point, you see a lot of people on the corners, and they're trying to get money from people that will roll down the window, give them some money. Now, you see these people, but these are people. Now, to mistreat somebody because you look at them and say, well, they're homeless, or they're asking for money, or even begging for money, anything like that. I think the word equity is looking at people and saying, you need to treat people fairly, not just fairly in the sense of, whether or not they're guilty of something, if you're in a position to have to determine guilt or anything like that. But how about just looking at people in general and just the general treatment of people? Proverbs is trying to say to us that when we look at life, we need to have a sense of evenness and a sense of being equal with everybody. So if you're kind to somebody because you're going to get something in return, okay, how about be kind to everybody? How about be kind to people that can never give you anything in return? How about let's just be kind to be kind for kindness sakes? But I think when you think about the word equity there, that has a sense of that. Then when you go over to chapter 2, basically the same thing here. We'll just read a few more verses, kind of give the context. It says, for the Lord giveth wisdom, there in verse 6, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. And notice verse 9, then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. So there's some things you need to understand about it. You say, well, it's not difficult, and yet at the same time, unless God gives you this enlightenment, God gives you the wisdom how to walk through life and just in simple treatment of other people, I think that's very, very important. And God says you need to learn to do that, not because you're going to get something, gain something, but because it is the right thing to do, and doing the right thing is always the right thing to do, of course. So we're not going to take a lot of time on it, but the word equity, again, meaning equal. And I'm so glad that the Bible tells us here that, God gives us this. That's why you look at life, you can really, in a lot of ways, not determine, but you can really characterize, is the word, Christianity by the way other people get treated. The world will kind of climb across somebody's back, stab you in the back, proverbial speaking, to get something. And if you can't give me anything, then you're of no use to me. Kind of that mentality. The world kind of has that as a sense of it's all about you and how where you're going to get, and if it means walking across people, walking over people, trying to climb that ladder, so to speak, then the world kind of teaches you that's a good thing. In fact, it's almost like if you don't have that about you, then you're not going to make it very far. And yet, when you look at the Bible, you look at the way God says, here's what true wisdom says. Everybody's a human being. Everybody deserves to be treated properly and rightly. Everybody needs equal treatment. And just in general, the way you live your life, there should be uh, an equality about how you live your life, not just based on what you see other people and how you're going to act toward them, but the fact you're going to do right because it's right to do, no matter who the audience is, no matter who the person is. So the word equity, being equal, and it sounds easy to say, but it's according to God, you need His wisdom to live it and to understand why that's important, and it is important. So I hope you have a great day. I'm getting ready to go inside and meet some people. I'm sure I'll meet some new people. Pray for the Southwide Baptist Fellowship. There's a lot of preachers that will be speaking, and people will be encouraged and people will be helped. And we hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow as we continue this study about the word equity. Have a great day.